Hello, Bashar.
And good day to you.
I have a very practical question for you.
Oh, all right.
My stepbrother Jacques has developed lungs throughout his lymph system.
All right.
And I was wondering if you could help me understand what he's doing and what the family can do to help him.
All right. Now, I cannot necessarily be too specific because we do not right now function that way. However, the idea, to begin with, the first step in any case, especially where what you call dis-ease, physiological dis-ease is concerned, is to allow the individual to get in touch with themselves in the following manner. To allow them to ask themselves, what am I learning about myself by having this disease? What is this disease? What is this condition? What is this situation forcing me to face? What issues have come up because of this disease that may not have come up if I didn't have it? Now, this is not to say an individual has to have a disease. No one has to have a disease. However, because your society has taught you many things that allow you to limit yourself in various ways, then many times many of you are not willing or allowing enough or knowledgeable enough to know that you could get the information that the disease is delivering to you in a more beneficial way. So the way to allow the disease to transform into a more positive manifestation, if it is going to, is to begin to understand why it has been created. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to understand what you are learning out of being in the situation. What ideas allow you to integrate within yourself a fuller, expanded awareness of your abilities, of your powers, of your connection to the infinite? Once you understand what information the disease is forcing you to look at, then you can make the decision that you will allow that information to come to you in your life in other ways, other than the idea of the disease, which simply is the idea of forcing you into a corner to force you to face things that you may not have been aware of within you because you may have placed them in your sub or unconscious strata that an individual in your society has created. So the first step is to remind an individual that it is their creation. Now, this does not mean that they necessarily consciously chose it, but it is their creation based on the ideas, the definitions, the negative ideas that they have been, shall we say, spoon-fed since childhood. And they may not see any other way to get the information that the disease is showing them other than by forcing them to face it through the disease. If they can expand their understanding of what it is that they are learning, they can learn it in another way. That is step one. You follow me so far?
Yes.
The second step that we would suggest is simply that you remind the individual that they are energy. That matter and energy, as even your own scientists know, is the same thing. And that the idea of any manifestation, any physiological crystallization in your physical body is simply the product of the arrangement of energy patterns that are representative of the idea you most strongly hold on to at any given moment. So they can begin in their own imagination to create, in relaxed state, a meditation, a visualization that is coupled with deep and resonant breathing or toning to balance themselves and place themselves in that neutral state of vibrational existence, of neutral pitch, so to speak. In that neutral state, when they find their signature vibration, the vibration that makes them feel, shall we say, most alive, most at home, most comfortable, the one that really strikes a chord within them, when they rest, when they float in that vibration, whether it is mental or physical, doesn't matter, when they float in that meditative state, they are at neutral. When they are at neutral, they can begin to visualize themselves as simply being constructed, physically speaking, of electromagnetic energy, blue-white light. Literally, they are made of blue-white light. See the body in that way. Allow the body to dissolve into energy, and then see the areas of consideration that you call the dis-ease. See how they may appear different than the idea of the blue-white light. They may at first appear to be a very dull gray. But the idea simply is that if you can focus on those ideas and learn the reason you have created them to begin with, then use the knowledge you learn, apply that knowledge onto those areas of disease, and see them transform into the blue-white bright light, so that the body idea, the energy idea, becomes homogeneous, so that no one portion stands out any more than any other portion. This is a very strong electromagnetically aligning idea. And if they are willing to continue to breathe into it and feel that they are breathing that electromagnetic energy in and out, suffusing every cell, every molecule, every atom, they can, with that centered state, completely divest themselves and transform themselves into the idea of a balanced being. And a balanced being cannot, by definition, contain dis-ease. Now, that is one suggestion. A lot of this, in fact, all of it, will have to do with whatever the belief systems are that are strongest within your acquaintance. You understand?
Yes.
But get the ball rolling, as you say. Allow the individual to begin to examine, to discuss, to discourse with the self, to know that answers can come from the higher self, to rest and relax in meditative dialogue with the self, and listen to the answers he gets. Ask. Have him ask. How does it serve me to have this disease? What am I learning by having created it? Then listen to the information. In that meditative state, I guarantee the information will come, and then he can apply it and decide what to do with it. Understand?
Yes, yes.
Has this been of assistance?
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Also, on your behalf, do not see the individual, do not see any individual with a disease as weak. See them as having had the strength to allow such a limiting condition to come into their lives because they know they are strong enough to learn from it. Support them with a vision of the strength it took to create the disease. Do not undermine them by seeing them as weak and incapable of changing it. Do not see them as a victim. Understand?
Yes.
So send your love in that way, knowing that they have the ability to do with that disease whatever they want to do. It really is up to them. And also, simply on your own behalf, learn from it what you want to learn. Allow yourself to realize that sometimes certain individuals will take on a disease, sometimes not so much for what they have to learn about it, but from what other people around them can learn, and therefore they are actually performing a service for many of the individuals around them that they love. You understand?
Yes, you certainly facilitate a lot in the family.
All right.
This, yes.
Then allow it to be obvious in terms of what it is doing, in terms of what the individuals who are involved are learning about themselves. Because in any type of relationship, that is the bottom line, as you say. What is it you are learning about yourself by being involved? That's the purpose for that particular situation. Understand?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I ask one quick question?
Very quick.
Very quick.
Time's up. All right. Go ahead.
I was in Sedona over the New Year weekend, and
did you have a good time?
Oh yes, wonderful time. We had visitors at the house late one night.
All right.
And my sense of them is that they were reticulum. Is that true?
You have an accurate sense, but I will go no farther. Let us say there was reticulum involvement in that area at that time. You were sensing an energy that was not necessarily as, shall we say, close in physical terms as you might have thought it was, but was permeating the entire area. And if you were sensitive to it, you could have felt that they were in fact very close. You understand?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sharing!